This is my 2024 Ford F-150 Raptor. It's also my very first truck that I've ever owned. Since owning my Raptor, I have put 16,000 miles on this bad boy. Now, I need to let you know, a little disclaimer, that I've technically only drove it for 8 months because in the past 4 months, it has been in the body shop involuntarily. So my review is going to be based off of the 8 months that I was able to drive it. But I'm not lying, this is my 1-year anniversary with the Raptor. Quick overview of the Raptor. It has a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 EcoBoost engine, pumps out 450 horsepower. It has 510 foot-pounds of torque. It's a 10-speed automatic 4-wheel drive. It goes 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, and a key feature is the Fox Live valve shocks. You have your 2-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive low, and you have your automatic all-wheel drive. Overall, the Raptor does have a pretty smooth drive, and that has a lot to do with how soft the suspension is. And I know that a lot of people that don't have Raptors take their trucks off-roading, and you can just tell that the Raptor is the best straight from factory to take it off-roading just because of all the performance that it comes with. Also, some people like to keep the Raptor as a pavement princess, but I have every intention to take it off-roading just like it's intended for. Now let's go over some of the key features that make the Raptor look like a Raptor. One of the first things that is very obvious when it comes to the Raptor is just how wide the truck really is compared to an F-150. The Raptor is actually 7 inches wider than the base model, making this entire truck from mirror to mirror 8 feet wide. It is also 12 feet long, making this a pretty large truck. Other features include the blacked out Ford grille, as well as the bumper, the side flares, as well as the hood scoop that does say Raptor on there. Also comes with these large LED lights, and one of the nice things about this is the fact that it does say Raptor in the headlight itself. Now, something that's actually been pretty funny is the fact that there has been debates about these 3 amber lights that come in the front of the Raptor. This is actually a Department of Transportation requirement. It's not aesthetics, you guys. This is because it is so wide that the DOT requires them to include extra lights on this truck. So I personally like it. Let me know if you do or don't. I just think it adds a whole lot, especially when you have those amber lights with these side ones on. It looks great at night. Also, in the back, on the tailgate, you do have that blacked out Ford with the F-150 on the left and Raptor on the right. Can't forget about the 35-inch tires that the Raptor comes with straight from factory, giving this entire truck a lot of clearance underneath. I have seen the Raptor in a variety of colors, and let me tell you, you really cannot go wrong with any color when it comes to the Raptor. Now I want to go over the MPG when it comes to driving this, and also show you what the interior looks like. Alright, so my current mileage right now is 13.4 per gallon. Now this is a 36-gallon tank. I don't know why I blanked out on that one. Like I said, the Raptor does have a 36-gallon tank, which if you're in California, you're gonna spend about $180 to fill up for a full tank. Now, if you're looking for a truck that is a little bit more economical, then I'm so sorry to burst your bubble, but a Raptor is just not realistic. So let's move on to some of the key features when it comes to the interior. It does have a 12-inch touchscreen, which I really do like the quality of all the cameras. Also has a 12-inch digital dash, and one of my favorite features is the fact that it has a workbench, which to me right now serves as a dining table, but this is really considered a workbench. But considering that the house is being worked on right now, this is coming in handy right now. Front seats are heated and vented, and the rear seats are actually heated. Now, I really do like the fact that the back seats are very, very spacious. Even if there's a tall person in the front, there's enough leg room in the back where it's not too crowded. And there's some trucks that are a little bit more compact that do have 3 seats in the back. Now, I really do feel like in the Raptor, the 3 seats in the back are true 3 seats, so you're not really feeling like you're elbow to elbow when you have all 3 passengers in the rear. You also have a ton of cup holders, which honestly comes in handy. There's a lot of compartments when it comes to the Raptor. You also have a ton of compartments on the doors themselves, and there's also a lot of space underneath the seats. I currently don't have a camper, so when I do need to store things inside of the truck, I will just lift the seats up and you can store things under here like I have already. Or if you had all this clear, you can actually fold this down and have a nice flat surface, so you can have a ton of room still in the cabin and you don't have to worry about ruining your interior. So I feel like you have enough space when it comes to the Raptor, even if you don't have a camper. And you can't forget about the full panoramic sunroof. I also wanted to mention that the bed line is actually sprayed on and that the tailgate is electric as well, which comes in handy. Another thing is I finally got this step fixed. It was broken initially when I got it, but I did make sure to get this fixed. So it comes in handy when you have a lot of things kind of pushed in the far back, and it's really easy to put away as well. Let's quickly go over some of the mods that I've done to the Raptor. Now, keep in mind that a lot of these are cosmetic just because I didn't want to void the warranty. I also wanted to enjoy the truck how it is, so let's go over some of those. So first off, I did get full gloss PPF on the Raptor. I know it's gonna get scratched, but I've actually already scratched it the first time I took it off-roading. I cleaned that up. And mostly this is for like just the day-to-day driving with the rock chips and stuff like that, but I'm trying to keep it as nice as I can for as long as I can. So that's the first mod that I did. I also got this really cute antenna bullet just because I felt like the other one was too big in my opinion. I also did remove the front bracket for the license plate. Not telling you what to do, I'm just literally telling you what I did. I also installed a dash cam inside, which I 100% recommend that you do as soon as you can. Also, what I've done is tint the windows. I got 30% in the front windshield and 5% all around, and that is with the sunroof closed, so that way you can see how dark it really is. I did also install rear wheel well liners. Tongue twister, but I did that because I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible. I've taken it to the mud, taken it to the snow, and it just gets everywhere in there. So just to make it easy, I installed these. They're pretty cheap and easy to install. I highly suggest them, and I just think it overall keeps the truck, I should say, nice and clean. The funniest thing is that those are not my most controversial mods. I've heard people complain about having my front windshield tinted, removing the front license plate bracket, but I think the one that bothers people the most is the fact that I removed the decals from my Raptor. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally didn't, which is why I wanted to just remove them and kind of keep the truck looking nice and clean. I just find it funny because they're kind of outing themselves in the sense of they don't know what to look for when it comes to a Raptor. It's more of if you know, you know, and if you don't, then I don't think you're a real Raptor fan if you can't tell what a Raptor looks like without the decals. Decals do not make it a Raptor. I repeat, decals do not make it a Raptor, boys. Here are my 4 negatives when it comes to the Raptor. So the first one is gonna have to be the size. Now, I usually like to park far, for example, in my Hellcat, just because I don't want anyone to hit it. When it comes to the Raptor though, I'm forced to park far just because of how wide it is. And you know how people love to park close and over your line. So because I need that extra space, I literally have to park next to nobody in order to make sure that I can get in and out of the Raptor. Number 2 is the fact that this is a V6 and not a V8. I wish it was faster, but that's why they have the Raptor R. But I really do wish that this was a V8. It could have been faster, but for what it is, I think it is still a great investment. Number 3 is the fact that this is made for off-roading. So tell me why did they think it was a great idea to put Alcantara in the seats? I don't understand that, because when I go off-roading, I like to go when it's dusty. I like to get all muddy. And the fact that this has Alcantara in it is not a good thing, because that means I have to change clothes before I get into the truck. I would have preferred if this was fully leather, because then it would have been a whole lot easier to maintain instead of having the Alcantara. So I think I'm gonna have to start getting seat covers before I go off-roading, because this is just not practical when it comes to actually taking ATVs or on your toys or your 4x4s. I don't think this is practical at all. So this is probably one of the most irritating things when it comes to the Raptor. Number 4 on my list is the fact that the Raptor is just not ideal for towing. It does have a towing capacity of 8,200 pounds versus a regular F-150 can tow up to 13,500 pounds, which is a huge difference. I also noticed that it squats a lot just by towing my little trailer and the 2 ATVs that I do have. I've even noticed other people towing with the Raptor, and I honestly think it looks a little silly just because of how much it actually squats. I don't know how comfortable I would be with towing anything bigger. For example, getting a car hauler to tow my Hellcat around. Eventually I'm gonna need a 3/4 or a 1 ton, so that way I can start towing the Raptor around, so that way I can take it to more off-roading places or even just start attending more events. But we'll see where it gets us. But I just don't feel comfortable right now towing any more than what I have right now with the Raptor. Overall, the Raptor is a great truck. It's fast, it's comfortable, it has great off-roading performance, and for that reason it makes this truck a Raptor. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Drive safe. Bye.